On this episode of China Uncensored, building on the success of others. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. China, the Middle Kingdom, home to many wonders. The Great Wall of China, the Terracotta Warriors, the classical gardens of Suzhou, the Sphinx? What's that doing there? Well, you see, modern China has a rich tradition of copying, from McDonald's to Polystation. And this modern culture of copying extends to a much grander scale than you may imagine. Chinese companies, and even the Chinese government, I kid you not, spend millions on creating knockoffs of some of the world's most famous monuments. As I always say, copyright infringement is the sincerest form of flattery. So here are just 10 of my personal favorites from China. Number 10, the Sphinx. I only bring it up again because there's not just one Sphinx. I found at least 2, 3, 4, 5, that one now also has an Iron Man for some reason, and 6. Though that last one was a little too good for the taste of the Egyptian government. They were concerned it would draw tourists away from the real Sphinx, so they complained to Chinese authorities, and amazingly, they actually did something about it. Number 9, the Colosseum. Keeping with the ancient world theme, the Chinese special region of Macau maintains its very own Colosseum. It's actually in use too. The 2,000-seat venue has regular outdoor concerts, and I'm sure sooner or later they'll start having prisoners of conscience battle to the death there for the amusement of officials. I mean, might as well do something before they have their organs harvested, am I right? I'm kidding, of course. The organs could get damaged. Number 8, Florence, and also sort of Venice. 200,000 square miles of former cornfields in Wuqing have been converted into an outlet mall village inspired by various parts of Italy. I mean, who needed all those cornfields anyway? The buildings look kind of like Florence, but then there's also the Grand Canal from Venice. Just be careful you don't fall into the gap. Number 7, the Louvre Pyramid. The actual Louvre Pyramid in Paris was designed by a Chinese-American architect. This one in Chongqing, which is used as a sales office, by the way, is a little less awe-inspiring. Number 6, the Sydney Opera House and Sydney Harbour Bridge. In Beijing, the capital of China, comes this capital replica of one of the most iconic things about Australia. I just hope they don't rip off the second most iconic thing about Australia. The Opera House and Harbour Bridge are part of Beijing World Park, a 115-acre park that's home to a variety of famous world knockoffs. Number 5, the Kremlin. Another one in Beijing. Several government offices are here, including the local weather bureau. And the Chinese government spent $3.5 million on it. I mean, government offices and wasteful spending do just go so well together. Very likely, it's inspired by the churches within Moscow's Kremlin, but minus the Christian crosses, of course, because government offices and religions do not go so well together. Number 4, London's Tower Bridge. While London bridges have the reputation of falling down, this one in Suzhou seems sturdy enough, considering it's twice the size of the original. See, the original one in London has a measly 2 towers, but the Chinese one has 4. Just be careful, to get off that highway, keep an eye out for the Brexit. It comes up fast. Number 3, the Eiffel Tower. Though only about a third the height of the original, this one in Tianducheng has an advantage. It has friends in other cities. Though to be fair, there are also Eiffel Tower knockoffs in America, like that one in Las Vegas, or that weird one in Queens along the I-495. Number 2, Arc de Triomphe. Speaking of Parisian triumphs, Here's a 30-foot-tall Arc de Triomphe in Jiangyan, which is a little more impressive than the one in Guangzhou. And finally, number 1, Washington, D.C. Various knockoffs of the White House and U.S. Capitol building have sprouted up across China. This one has been all but abandoned to food vendors. Too bad they're only knocking off America's buildings and not America's rule of law or basic freedoms. But you know what? There's something kind of nice about all these knockoffs. Most of China's 1.3 billion citizens will never travel outside the country. So when are they going to get a chance to visit the White House or the Sphinx? So I kind of applaud Chinese entrepreneurs for tapping into this market and bringing some of the world's great works of art to the masses. So, which was your favorite? And what is the next knockoff landmark you'd like to see in China? Leave your comments below. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Chappell. See you next time.